Now, here's something near and dear to my heart. A Ford CL9000. 1966, Ford came out with the Ford W series. Ford W, or first it was a Ford, W1000 in 1966. They made those trucks from 66 until 77. 78, they redesigned the entire truck, actually late 77 behind the scenes. For the 78 model year, Ford introduced their brand new state-of-the-art CL9000. So we went from W9000 to the CL9000, and these trucks had split cabs like this, and the early ones had air ride. The cabs were air ride, so it was a really innovative thing that they were doing. Guys would be in them and they felt literally like the truck was tipping, even though it wasn't tipping. It was part of the air ride suspension of the cab. So I don't know if they ran them very long. I've heard a lot of stories where some guys loved them, some guys didn't love them. But what's cool about this is the size of it. Take a look at the scale of this thing. It's just a monster. I mean, it's mammoth. Now, when I was in college, I got a job at a loading dock, and they just so happened to have had two CL9000s that were brand new in the early 80s. The early 80s models. And I got to drive them every night. And it was my favorite thing, was loading up the trailers, and then once we were done loading the trailers, we had to take the trucks out. So I would be Johnny Cowboy in the Ford 9000. I thought I was Carol Joe Hummer.
This here's Carol Joe Hummer, and I'm commencing broadcasting to you today from my new bucket. Got a Ford WT9000 Cummins.
What are you, Hummer? Some kind of outlaw?
But every time I see one of these, now they're dinosaurs. It's just so cool. Just look at the size of it. It's a monster. Let me show you a few little things about a mobile home toter. Got wide load. Then you also have this big bracketry on top for all of the marker, all of your emergency lights, you know, all of your strobes and things, because coming down the highway, what are the odds that you were behind a mobile home or two in your life and they take up, you know, multiple lanes? Well, think about that. It takes a special driver to be toting mobile homes around, especially through mountains and crazy, you know, treacherous roads and weather conditions. So you got all of that, which is your normal mirrors are removed, and they have to have them super wide because the loads are so wide. And every mobile home toter ever has a squished up short little wheelbase like this. And this one's no different. This would be all for all kinds of things. Chains, flags, anything you would need, additional equipment, you would put it all behind here in this, almost like your little tool shop, but super small little wheelbase. Sleeper berth, of course, because most of the time you're hauling a mobile home. Think about that. You're hauling someone's home, delivering someone's home. Everyday truck drivers, and there are plenty of them here, deliver to the grocery stores, which you know, those are necessities we all take for granted that are going to be at the stores. Well, truck drivers also deliver homes, every aspect, from raw materials, from everything you can possibly think of, nails, screws, drywall, paint, everything comes by a truck. Well, in this case, they're hauling the entire home to your house.
SemiFreaks.com